Welcome to the Week 7 in Review BONESTORM Fantasy Football Show. We had our co-host at the high seas last week, so Jason had to fill into your sizable shoes, let's
How'd
just
it
say.
go? I didn't see it.
Shocker that you wouldn't go back and look at your
I
competition.
will go back. I didn't know.
He was fine. He was fine. You know, no one ever will replace you, of course. Obviously,
thank you.
Nobody's got that kind of fire. But he did a yeoman's job trying, and do appreciate that he did jump in, and he had a good time, I think.
Not only does he try to take my job away, he trounced my team, which we'll cover.
That's right. That's coming up next. Let's get to. I think that's the first game. Hold on, wait. Let's see. I click over here. Come on, clicky click, click. There we go. That's the first game.
Okay.
There we go. Look at all the yellow on his side. My goodness. Go ahead. Talk to me about this beatdown.
Now, okay, I paid attention to this matchup. I knew it was going to be tough, and I was pleasantly surprised at the output of my team. I was projected to get 160. I ended up overperforming and getting 175.
Yeah.
However, outperforming doesn't begin to describe the day he had. Only dark spot, some dude named Jerome Baker. But, oh, my Lord, he racks up 240.87. I did a little bit of research, and I would have beaten every team in the league with the exception of Jason and Terry.
Exactly. The two people that did 200. Exactly. Yeah, Terry's on fire right now.
Yes,
yes. Jason, I mean, even on a bad day, even when the Ravens lose, he gets 25. That is just insane. Alvin Kamara had a heck of a Monday Night Football appearance there with 35. Cooper Kupp with 39, almost 40 himself, and Debo with 25 in that rainstorm. I mean,
it's everybody. It's like
he's hitting on all cylinders. I just hope he flames out. I hope this goes well all year, and then he crashes in the playoffs. That's the only hope I have. Otherwise, no one's going to come close to touch him if he keeps putting up numbers like this.
So basically, the way your seasons normally go.
Not all of them, pal. Not all of them.
Okay. Well, I still had a little bit of production from Jalen and a Mr. Michael Pittman Jr., who I think I got off the waiver wire at some point. Buccaneers show up big. But outside of that, I did okay. I mean, I did plenty fine, enough to win, just not against him. So well done, Jason.
Yeah, and that is the story of every week. It doesn't matter what you score. All that matters is who you're playing. Speaking of which, let's get to your sister, who you just spoke of, who having a great day, versus poor Joe, who plays the role of the victim this time.
Okay, well, Joe, very similar story. He scores a very decent 157, outperforming his projections. However, much like my opponent, Colossus, Goliath shows up and is Goliath with Joe Burrow, 38, 39 from Jamar Chase. And she ends up getting a net 211, basically. Another monster.
Again, this is, I read in different circles that people had been looking at this week for a long time in the fantasy world, saying this was going to be the week where everybody had issues with bye weeks. Apparently, Terry doesn't with a quarterback or with a quarterback two that scores 38 points, right? That's a pretty good quarterback two when your number one is on the bench.
Not bad.
Exactly. And throwing to his number one guy, Jamar Chase, for 39. So very nice. Like you said, yeah, Joe had a decent day, but nothing to eclipse somebody who's coming with the big 200 plus number. Let's move on to the next one, which, here we go. A little bright spot for Maddie going up against Kat.
Okay, Kat ends up getting 147. Wow, look at that. They projected 148. She gets 147.99. Somebody at ESPN knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
On the other side, however, they called yours a little bit wrong. They thought you'd piddle out with a measly 137, about where I thought I'd see you come. But again, Satan drives you to victory with another 32.44. I hope it's him who costs you the title. That would just be perfect. That you go to the very end and then he just
flames out
or decides not to play some week to save himself.
Right.
That would be the only thing. I'm still going to say the biggest surprise on that team is the hair on Devondra Campbell.
I love it, right?
That's worth 25.25 by itself.
Completely wild. Yeah. So now I'm guessing okay, first of all, I'm going to guess that the answer is you didn't know to the first one and you didn't watch the second, but let me ask just to make sure. Were you aware that there is an alternate version of Monday Night Football on most Monday nights these days?
Yes, with the Manning.
Okay, I was wrong on that. Did you watch this last week?
Not this last one. The week before I did.
Well, it wasn't on the last one. I mean, the two weeks ago, they were still off.
Well,
They came
whichever
back
the
for
last
this one.
was.
Yeah, they took like 2 weeks off, which I thought was interesting because it was like lame games or whatever. But this one they wanted to be there for. And one of their guests was Satan himself, Tom Brady. And he was very funny on the show simply because I think once he left.
Suddenly you're in love with Tom Brady.
No. Hear me out.
I love Tom
Hear
Brady.
me out. Will you hear me out?
He's kind of like Mo.
I think that in New England, he kind of kept it under the lid basically until he got out from under Belichick and then kind of let loose. Because one of the things he said there was insane. And I was like, wait, what? He was talking about how much smarter offensive players are than defensive. He's like, he goes, you ever been in their meetings? He goes, you walk in there, it's basically like dogs chasing a car. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, holy cow, look at this guy ripping people. So it did make me laugh. But yes, he is Satan. And I hope he doesn't turn on me. I hope he carries me all the way to the end.
Oh,
you
signed a deal with the devil this year.
I did. Let's move on to, Mr. Sombrero, Mr. Missing in Action, Mr. I'm Too Busy. Just kidding. I'm sure there's real things going on in his life. I get that. But this is week 2.
Yeah, he wrote me today, says he needs help with the app. Now, what I don't understand is he constantly needs help with the app. And Terry is, this goes against the generational thing.
Right.
My sister, years past, Mama, was definitely able to negotiate these tools. Yes. Mm-hmm. But Johnny, the ultra hyper tech guy,
super electronic guy, the guy that I would go to for computer questions. Right.
So supposedly I'm going to help him later today. We shall see.
Okay.
But oddly enough, starting an incomplete lineup with 2 empty spots and God knows what other problems he had, cost him a win. Not that he would have won.
But he was competitive. This wasn't like he was out of it. If he would have filled both those roster spots, you never know. That's all I'm saying. Yes, he was down 50 points. That would have been a huge thing. But with some work on the back end, he might have been competitive. But and it was interesting because one of the things Jason complained about last week was Todd was already complaining out before the game even started, saying, Greg got to play Johnny. He didn't even start a full stinking team. Well, you got it too. So now you both can be happy. And you're both in my division, which makes me very unhappy because those should be 2 losses, not 2 wins. And I'd be up by 2 instead of 1 right now. But that's another story.
Well, we haven't done the research to go back to see if he had started.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't know because he has empty people. So it's a mystery. You could have easily found somebody who scored 30 points. Let's move on to the Stacey's versus Greggy Weggy.
Okay, Malibu. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Ooh. And she is in a hyper depressed mode.
Jesus.
And not only that, look at the Jets, minus 12.
I know, right? Not helping.
That doesn't help things.
I'm like, look at that. That's not even helping. That's hurting.
She's been killed by a couple of things. Obviously, injuries, a lot of underperformers, a lot of negotiation where she was a little slow to the draft, the waiver wire, and a little slow making moves. But in her defense, her team was doing so well, it didn't really make a lot of sense to start
moves. Yeah, to make waves. I get it. Yeah.
And then now it's like she doesn't know what to do. I think if she can weather the storm, somehow get some of these studs back, like what's his face? Where is he?
Keenan Allen in the.
Well, Keenan Allen, but also she must have him on IR or whatever.
CMC. Mm-hmm. Yeah, CMC. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If she can hold out until maybe some of those things start coming back, she might be okay. However, wasn't enough this week.
Yep.
Love hugs and ice cream. Oh, so who was the previous team? TV All-Star Leftovers?
TV Casualties. No, we're getting to that. Just hold your horses.
That was the team we just covered.
No, TV Casualties? No, we haven't got to that one yet. Who are you talking about?
Okay. I thought I saw something on the previous one. Whatever.
Oh, well, let me check. Yeah, no, we're. I think we're still.
That was a half.
Oh wait, maybe we did miss one. Oh no, it was TV Casualty. Yeah, it was Todd's team, right? TV Casualty. You know what that's from, right?
No.
That's the first album we got from the Misfits that we shared. That was one of the first ones
Oh,
we got. Yeah, it was called. There's a song called TV Casualty, and he went to see them at that big show with Jason. So I'm sure that's why he changed it to
I
that.
see.
That's the
Okay.
Misfits. Yeah. So
Because
we
I didn't
covered
get
this one.
involved until,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, no,
later.
but I mean, I know, but I mean, I remember us talking about that album, but we digress with the Misfits. There's more time to
Okay,
cover
sorry.
them. Let's get
Anyway,
on to the Braille Bombers again with another loss to them. This time to the
okay,
half-back
Braille Bombers
Mustangs.
really having a tough go. I'd love to say it's matchup related. This could have been a victory, but our guys underperformed. They only
And
needed to do
one was
134
a
and it would have
scratch.
won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one was a scratch, and this was, I mean, again, you have to be on top of this stuff because all week long he was questionable. And again, I understand his gamesmanship by the teams, and I'm sure there were
Oh,
probably
I think
things
it's
if somebody
stupid.
read
I
into
think
it.
it's stupid.
It's like if she would have known that Waller might not have been able to go, she might have gotten another backup because her other guy was on a bye. But
Yeah.
instead, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, Darren Waller's out. I'm like, what? Oh, we just found out an hour before the game and she doesn't have another back. I'm like, oh, great. Well, sorry, you're not going to have anybody. I'm like, you're going to get zero there. And again, could she have won with somebody? Yeah, it was only 15-point deficit. That's a definite,
Yeah.
that's within a margin of error. And it just sucks that
Well,
you gotta be ready with that third tight end just in case your guy goes out. So I don't know.
I will say this. Okay, I will say that I do like the flexibility of our website
Mhm.
that you could literally put a guy in 5 minutes before the game starts
Yes.
and that will happen. That is not the case in a lot of other leagues.
No, some of them it's like
You
an hour before and then
and you
you're
can't do
hosed. Yeah.
anything once the
Mhm.
game starts.
Yep.
Like you can't
Yep.
even fart around later. So
Yeah.
I do like that. I definitely think we have plenty of slots on our teams to deal with
Yeah.
buys and so I think the game is just getting there's so many I don't maybe I'm talking out of my rear, but it just seems like there's so many key injuries that
Yeah.
affect so many things
Mhm.
that it just seems like everybody's constantly trying to fill holes. I mean, we've got what 16, 18 slots. I can't remember
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That should
think
be
it's 18.
plenty. That
Yeah.
should be plenty. I'm in
It
leagues with
should.
nothing.
It should, but I think a lot of people this year, and they did the same thing last year with COVID, was they're backing up. A lot of times we would never even back up a quarterback or a tight end, right? We would just roll with one at each of those positions, and we fill the rest in with whoever we needed, and it was a lot easier. I think because of a lot of inconsistency and damage, people are holding on to them. I know I am. And I'm not letting go of my two tight ends or my two quarterbacks just in case one of them goes down. And I want to have somebody that I want to start, not just who's on the wire. And I think a lot of teams did that this year. So that's why it shrinks what they have on that bench to play with. And like you said, there's guys on IR, there's guys that are dinged up that you want to hang on to until they come back. And it's, it gets tough to sort of move those chess pieces around, at least in these last 2 years. But I agree with you. It's definitely been harder these last couple of years than it has any year that I can remember.
Well, and I'll also tell you this because this just kind of dawned on me. If you look at our league and how we've set up these teams,
Mm-hmm.
we have 2 flex spots and now a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
And the rosters are pretty much the same size, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So there's fewer opportunities on the bench to back up all these positions. It's like, okay, you want to back up your defensive guy? Now you got 2 spots on your roster that you're going to have just to deal with that.
Yeah, most people don't have a backup defensive guy, I don't think. But
Right,
I hear what
exactly.
you're saying.
But
I
if you
hear what you're
wanted
saying. Yeah,
to,
I
the
hear what
more
you're saying.
different spots
Yeah.
we highlight in the starting lineup,
Yeah.
unless you do a matching increase on the bench side.
Right, I get it. Yeah,
it's
increase
even
the
tougher
bench.
to keep
Right.
guys
Because you can't.
ready
Yeah.
to get. Yes, I mean, if you
I get it.
look at a lot of the bench this week. I won't make you go back, but a lot of them, like Joe's or Greg's, I can't remember. If you go down the list, there's buys or outs, basically filling the entire
the
bench.
most of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, once we get to the bye weeks, it's
and you're
definitely
just
and that's why.
plugging
Yeah.
dudes in.
Yeah, and that's why I
hoping-
said. And that's why I said a lot of fantasy folks circled this week saying, hey, this is when a lot of the big scoring teams are going to be on bye. So a lot of people are going to take losses that shouldn't, or there's going to be tougher to fill your roster. Should settle itself by next week, but let's wait and see how that goes.
But we shall see.
Yeah, let's move on to the
All
standings.
right, let's do the standings. Okay, Brockway, unbelievably.
Still.
Dawn still, and she has a
She should thank me because I handed that Wild Poopers a loss or she'd be tied right now.
3-game losing streak. She still finds herself in first place. Again, this is my point about if she can weather the storm.
Yeah, exactly. You got to ride it out to the end. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The Wild Poopers struggling to hit 500. She's at 3-4 and bringing up the rear. Springfield United really hoping for a turnaround because I'm not saying time is ticking by,
It is ticking.
but it waits for no one. In
Yep.
Ogdenville, Hail Satan is in first with 5-2. 2 losses, pretty good season. The TV casualties, though, 1 game back,
right on my heels.
and just 2 games back from first place.
I know.
You have love, hugs, and ice cream. So very competitive in Ogdenville.
Yep.
The opposite of that is North Haverbrook.
Oh my gosh.
We've got
Penn.
Karen from Roseville not only dominating the league, but seriously dominating their division. It's pretty much a 2-team division there. I'm really hoping Mama can turn things around. Poor Mama's on a 6. No, let's see. Oh, I don't see the streak here.
6-game streak. Yeah, I think she won her first week, and then she's lost every game since then. I think.
There you go. 6-game losing streak. That's
rough.
Tough. She's 5 spots out of first, but what, 3? Hopefully it's not over. Okay.
No, we're not there yet. We're not statistically eliminating people just yet, but we're getting there. Yes.
And then, like I've said the whole time, the cream of the division that rises to the top of the league, you have Springfield, who, even given my circumstances, I'm still holding tough at first place, tied. The Kevins lead 4-3, both of us. At least we're north of 500.
Yep.
Poor Joseph, I think he's been hit by a couple of tough matchups. He's at 2-5. But anyway, still anyone's league, anyone's division.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm
see how we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing here because unfortunately work intruded upon what I normally would do today, and I didn't get the thing up from the waiver wire today. So if you just pull up your screen and I can direct you to it, we can just look at it, because I don't think there were many things. I know you overpaid for Sam JP, Ryan, at least I think you did, who I got for $1 and then let go. I obviously should have held on to him for a little bit longer because you were looking for him, but you got, I think you grabbed 2 people at $21 a piece, and then there was a bunch of other low level stuff. You're not sharing yet. You got to put it up there. You got to share.
Yeah, relax. Share in a second. Okay. Come on, move. There,
move, bad back.
Move. Do you like this?
Because you got a hunch
what do you want?
back, don't mean you got no. You want to go to players. And go to. Wait a minute! Don't move. I got to move my thing because I can't see all of it. Hold on. There should be a. Oh no! You're on MLB Home now. Go off of that for a second.
No,
no, just go up. There you go. Thank you. Go to offers report. Stupid. I told you we're on the MLB. Thank you. There we go. Now scroll up. Yes, sir. Scroll up. And there you go. So you added Brandon Bolden and Sam JP Ryan both for $21.
I did.
I don't think anybody else came after them. So you spent an extra 40 that you didn't need to. So that's good. Kenyon Drake. I'm surprised he hasn't gone earlier. I thought about him a couple weeks ago. It's like Todd snapped him up. $3 for Cole Holcomb. Oh, he's an IDP guy. And tight end was grabbed also by a TV casualty.
Was there no conflicts whatsoever?
No, there were. You would have seen somebody repeated on here, and there's nobody repeated, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Jesus, dude, will you spend some money? So $1 between 3 pickups?
$1. That's all I needed. Why spend anything more? I just needed a defense.
You are a piece of work. And what are you saving it for? What are you saving it for?
I'm saving it up for something that I may not see. You know, I got to keep a couple dollars in reserve in case something tragic happens to all my guys. So
you're still, even if it's the last week and Tom Brady gets hurt and somehow Patrick Mahomes was dropped, you'd still bid 3. I guarantee.
I bid whatever it took, just barely.
Cheap.
All right, let's get to next week. This is going to be fun because now we're in week 8, and it's getting closer, because if we previously had a 13-week season, now we have a 14 because of the extra week. So we are more than halfway done with that.
All right.
We're past the halfway point and into the second half of the season.
How many weeks is it?
14.
Okay, yeah, so we're right there.
14 regular season weeks, right? And then playoffs.
Okay.
All right, so
can you see this okay?
Yeah, I can
So
see it perfectly. So I'm
we've
looking.
got first up, we've got
You know
love.
what? Scroll down a little bit. I'm sorry, I lied.
All right, hold on.
Scroll down just a bit.
Yeah,
You
I
got
know.
you got Sam J in the lineup
Too
too. Look at
much?
you. No, that's perfect. Right there's good.
Okay, so we've got love, hugs, and ice cream
Mm-hmm.
going against yours truly.
Ooh.
Looking at the line here, they think it's going to be close. Well, not too close. They think he's going to get 160. They think I'm going to be 10 points shy of that. Yes, a keen eye you have. I have bye week problems and injury problems this week. And this is why I said what I said about the bench.
Yeah.
Things were so rough for me today. I have no kicker. I went out to get a kicker. There was nobody I was willing to drop. I had to
Right,
actually,
that's the tough thing, right?
I had to actually move
Somebody
Chris
to IR.
Carson to IR,
There you go.
and then I was able to squeeze in a kicker, which you'll all have to wait till tomorrow to find out.
Exciting,
Uh,
right? Exactly.
Well, it's okay. It's no big secret. It's a dude from the Giants. It's the top guy available.
Yeah. That's fine.
So,
That's fine.
Yeah,
It
but
should be
even
interesting.
still, even
Right.
still, I bid a few bucks for him,
Oh,
not
you don't have to. You
zero.
can go zero. Why? What do you
Yeah,
have
I
against
know,
zero?
I
What do
know,
you have
because
against zero?
because I think it's an offense. That's why.
Okay, well,
These
you
are
stand on your
people,
moral
and
high
their
ground.
name is Anakin.
Anakin. All right, so this is going to be fun because we got Aaron Rodgers going against Arizona, Green Bay versus the Cardinals. This is going to be fun because this could be a preview for some playoff games down the road in the real NFL. You got James Robinson going up against a beleaguered Seattle with no Russell Wilson, at least to this point. And any other interesting matchups? No.
Yeah,
that I
no,
can
there is an
see.
interesting matchup.
What's that?
Todd traded me Chris Carson and
Right.
Antonio Brown
Right.
for Dak
And
Prescott.
they're out.
Chris Carson, injured reserve. Antonio Brown out. He gave me all of his dead. Just pulled up a cart and tossed two caskets out.
That is both the love and the hate of the trade, right? It cuts both ways. Sometimes it really benefits, other times doesn't. It's propelled him quite a bit.
It has. No, it's good. And I'm not saying it wasn't fair. I'm just saying it hasn't worked out well for me.
I don't know. I think Antonio's helped you win a couple of games here and there. I don't think we can count that. Carson, that's another question. Carson, you're getting hosed on, but Antonio's
giant game. He was on my bench.
Well, that's not my fault. I'm just saying, okay, so we're maybe he didn't contribute, but he scores points is my point, you know. You got to keep him in the lineup. Points
when he plays.
Exactly.
When does he play? When's he going to play?
Next week, maybe.
When's Carson going to play? Exactly.
We will see. On your side, you got, this is good. Jalen should do well against Detroit. They're not very good. Eckler against New England. New England's resurgent. It'll be interesting to see that. Sam J against the Jets. They're looking horrible. That should be a nice day for him. Even with Antonio Gibson, they're finding ways to get Sam J, or not Antonio, check that, mom's guy. Who is it? Who's the running back in Cincinnati? The main guy.
Joe Mixon?
Thank you, Joe Mixon. Right. Sam J's his alternate, but he's a better pass catcher, it looks like, or at least they're mixing him in more. And so he got a touchdown last week. We'll see if he does the same for you. And Michael Pittman is the guy in Indy for now. And Indy's coming back. Look at Carson, right? He's staying healthy, knock wood. And we'll see how the rest of you go. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Obviously, I like Greg in this one because I can't root for you.
What? All right, fine. Next one. Let me go and pull that up.
The Stacy's and Karen. Oh boy.
Oh, it's a good one.
Boy.
Okay. We've got a cat fight. No, not a cat fight. Karen from Roseville.
Say hi.
Oh,
say hello.
Hi, David.
Hi, David.
Okay, we've got Malibu Stacy's projected to get 141. We've got Karen from Roseville, unbelievably projected to get 157. I think that's because of Lamar being on a bye. His average, though, is 207. I think Don knows.
Average 207.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think Don knows this is another David and Goliath matchup, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. She started off ultra hot. Maybe that turns itself around.
Should be a fun game
on here. She's got a lot of fill-ins.
It should be fun with Kamara versus Tampa Bay. I'm hoping that they end up shutting down Kamara. and limiting him, because I think we all want to see David slay Goliath
Division
with.
game with
Yeah.
Najee Harris too.
Yeah, absolutely, against Cleveland. I'm really hoping that Don can take down Jason just for the entire league, to knock him down a peg. He's only lost one game. I'm sure he was hoping to be the Dolphins and run the table this year, but that didn't happen. Let's see if Don can hand him loss number 2. So everybody's rooting for Don this week. Go Don.
You know when you have multiple tight ends in your lineup that you've got
things are a
some
problem. Yeah, you
problems,
have problems if you have more than one tight
issues.
end. Right,
Exactly. But at least one of
issues.
them's Kelsey.
Exactly.
All right, the next one. We've got the Wild Poopers going against the Gentlemen's Four Quarterlies. So Terry's another team. Don't let the late surge fool you. It would be apparent that she's scored well all year.
Look at
with
her
an
average. Look
of
at Terry's
190.
average. 190.
And it ain't Josh Allen. It ain't Jamar Chase. Look at the average down the line. It's just
lots of 20s there.
This is a Matt Dream team. This consistent whatever.
She's killing it.
The Wild Poopers projected to get 135. Terry's projected to get 167. I'm looking for buy issues. Kat's got a couple question marks in her receiving core. Terry also with her tight end and a running back, Antonio Gibson. Yeah, Leonard Fournette's having a year.
Cordell Patterson, he's the guy that's having his biggest year. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it sure looks like this one tilts towards Terry, but maybe we'll get a closer game. It looks like the projections are lining them up at 160 versus 130. So they're liking Terry too. But this is anybody's game. I think this one might be a good one that comes down to it, in spite of all the check marks in Terry's favor. Let's move on to the next match.
Now, I know this will be no surprise to you, but before the season, I don't think I'd ever heard of Jamar Chase. This dude's averaging 23 points, north of 23 points a game.
Yeah,
he's the second leading receiver in the league.
Yeah, and what's nuts about him is he totally hosed every fantasy, manager or prognosticator by, in preseason, barely doing anything, dropping everything. There were like questions of why they even have him on the team. Season starts and it's, oh yeah, that was all just a dream. Watch this. He is his favorite target. They played together at LSU, and he is just killing it right now.
If I told you 2 months ago who's going to be the second leading,
I wouldn't have said Jamar Chase.
Right, exactly.
No.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Yes.
The next one, we've got Springfield United and Braille Bombers. Now, here we go. Here is an opportunity for one of these teams
getting a W.
Desperate for a win.
Yeah.
Here's a chance for both of them here. Johnny's got lots of fill-in problems. Mama's got a little bit of fill-in problems with her tight end.
Yep, she'll fix it.
Yeah, she'll fix it. Right now, it's anybody's guess what the scores are going to be. They think Johnny's going to do 110. They think Mama's going to do 117.
Yeah, you can't really even say it yet. Obviously, I'm pulling for Mama in this one. Sorry, Johnny, I love you like my other brother, but I got to root for Mama in this one. She's down and she needs a win more than you do. She would just meet you with a second loss with a 2-win record, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see if Johnny can get some help from Kev, and we can talk offline about that too. I can help out if need be with anything on that one, but good luck to both of them. Let's hope it's a close game and a good battle.
He's got 3 tight ends and 2 empty spots on his lineup. That spells trouble to me.
That spells problems, exactly. All right, let's get to the next one. That was
all right. The next one. Let's see. We got the TV casualties going up. Oh, wows. The line being 0.9 points. Calling a virtual tie here between the TV casualties and the halfback Mustangs. Both teams they think is going to score roughly about 156, give or take. Question mark for Dak, but he'll play. Do you see anything on here of interest?
No, I think this is going to be a good matchup. Both are like you said, equally matched. They're both coming off wins. Matthew Stafford going up against a hapless Houston. That should be a day of feasting for him. Jonathan Taylor, who is just balling right now against Tennessee. That's a division game. That might be a little harder sledding going up against a division rival. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott, I don't know why he's questionable, but going up against Minnesota, who he should do well against them, but it's at Minnesota, so it's away from home. Let's see how he does there. Otherwise, A.J. Brown and Tennessee with that huge win over Kansas City last week, they're feeling it. Let's see if that continues. And Ricky Seals-Jones looking to not lose that number and see if he can continue his play in there. Poor DK Metcalf, he's just praying to God that old Russell Wilson gets healthy and gets back in the lineup. And Emmanuel Sanders has been a good recipient of Josh Allen. He has not been the forgotten man. He's had some really good games. So this one should come down to the wire. I'm hoping for a close game and maybe a flash finish at the end, a photo finish to see who wins it. So let's move on to the next one. That's a good one.
Before we
might be the game of the week.
Before we move on, this is a good one. And I'll tell you.
Ooh, Aaron Jones against Arizona. I missed
one
that
of our favorite movies has a quote in it that goes, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing everybody he didn't exist."
Yes.
The second greatest trick is the turnaround that Todd is building on his team. From being literally on the ropes to he's turning it around. Now, looking at this, if he could complete the turnaround and improve his running back situation, they're averaging less than 10 apiece. If he can somehow turn that around, he's got a team to go through the rest of the year. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And finally,
last matchup.
Who cares? Let's go to.
How dare you? You must cover. There we go. The tacos.
Oh, look at that. Oh, Matty's going to be feeling it. Matty, you got an empty slot. You need Johnny to call up and help you set this lineup or what?
No, I just got it. I have to put it in there. Don't worry. I know how to fill a roster. I will have my roster full.
Okay, we've got Tom Brady, first in the league. Unbelievable, this whole fart. On your squad, they think you're going to get 146. Likely you'll pull in some pile of garbage you bid 0 on. So that projection is not going to change much. They think a healthy score is coming Joe's way. I certainly hope so. Just to shut you up for once. What have you got? Who's Khalil Herbert? You got to get that sack out of there.
Hey, you know what? That guy is the fill-in for the injured guy in Chicago, and he's had really good games. He's playing really well right now. In fact, I hope that guy stays injured the entire year and he keeps balling, because I got him in over somebody else. And it's like, yeah, I'll keep him in there.
Yeah, you do that. He averages 9 points a game. Do it, and we'll own you. Dude, meanwhile, both his guys score averaging like double your guy. Look at that, 20 and 20. Yeah, your guy sucks.
Okay.
They think he's going to beat you by 26. I think it's going to be a lot bigger. What do you say?
I think it's going to be me all the way, Mr. Man. I think I'm going to upset this apple cart of a ridiculous projection. And I'm sorry, Joe, I love you, but I got to take you down this week. You're the one in the line of fire, and it has to be you. I'm hoping for a slow day for him. He's got a lot of good matchups there that I'm not liking. And I'm going to get the double-edged sword of the Chris Godwin every time he gets a reception from my man Tom, that he's going to get a little more with that extra reception point. So I've been on the other end of that one. So we'll see how it goes that way. And I'm certainly not going to root against his man Deontay Johnson going against Cleveland. If he has a good game, the Steelers win and I lose, well, I'll take that any day over a win in fantasy, as would most real fans of anything. But
let me ask you this. Does Tampa Bay ever play the Steelers in this regular season?
I don't think they do. I haven't looked at the full schedule, but I've looked at it, but I don't remember seeing the Tampa Bay matchup. Not this year. The only way they face them is in the Super Bowl if they both made that far.
I see.
Then I'd really be. I'll tell you what would happen.
I know exactly what would happen.
No, it'd be the worst. I'll tell you what the worst would be. The worst would be I win this year with the Tom in fantasy. I'm on a high roll. They go into the playoffs. It ends up Steelers versus Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay beats the Steelers. I would be so mad, and I would never do that again in fantasy. It would teach me. That would be the only thing to teach me never to do that in fantasy.
Well, what if you lost both because of Tom Brady? That'd be even better.
That would be the worst. Are you kidding me? No, I don't want that at all.
Okay, well, check on your boy Rob. When does he play? Saturday or?
Yeah,
tomorrow?
I'm hoping he's going to be healthy, because I need a Gronkowski back in.
It doesn't say it on the screen.
My backups do not even.
What's the Thursday game?
It's supposed to be a good one. I think that might be the Green Bay Arizona one. I think it might be Green Bay and Arizona, right? If I'm looking here, is there anybody that they have from there? Buda Baker, yeah, there you go. Does that say Thursday? Well, you can't see on here. It doesn't say what.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm pretty sure that's the Thursday night matchup. Yeah, so that should be fun. That'll be a really good Thursday night matchup, one that everybody will want to watch. I'm going to stop. No, I don't want to stop recording.
No, stop recording. I'm going to stop sharing.
There you go. That's what I want to see. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so Jason had some good ideas about places to go and when we were going to go. He was talking about this weekend, but I've heard nothing since last week, so maybe that's going to be pushed to the following weekend. But we should get on that so we can all do some get together. They were talking about some bar up in Auburn or something like that. So
If you asked me on Sunday, I would have said, "You can go to hell, Jason." But I'm over it now.
So how was the trip, man? Give us a 2-minute recap of anything funny that you saw, or maybe an encounter you had. Or I did see those guys playing that Metallica song. I'm surprised you didn't jump up and knock them off the stage and try to play for them.
I should have. I was gonna mosh, but
you started that. They're like, "What are you doing, sir?"
Running around like in a mosh pit with my mask on would have killed the whole rebel spirit of the act. No, if you got, if you don't feel great about yourself, take a cruise. I'll tell you that. I am overweight. No secret there, but man, I was svelte on that cruise.
You were Slim Jim on that cruise?
Oh, I was one of the prime pieces of meat on that rack. No, we had a good time. Lots and lots of family time. But yeah, I was a little disappointed that Carnival wasn't as forthcoming with the mask issue on the boat before. Not only before I booked, before I traveled, and before I even got on the boat. You kind of find out right then what it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, put that on for the next 4 days. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, on a cruise. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Or I can't do anything except if I'm back in the room.
We made the best of it.
Yeah.
No protests or sick outs on my part. I decided to go along.
Good, man.
My Republican friends.
Yes.
And yeah, it was great. Yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be in front of the camera this week.
Yes.
Entertaining you fine folks.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming back and making it through the high seas. I'm sad you didn't bag at least some sort of a fish on the way back. You didn't go fishing off the side.
It was purely a trip of piracy.
Exactly. You were just boarding other ones and attacking.
That's correct.
Them. I love
raping and pillaging everywhere we could.
You do specialize in the booty, so of course that's what you're doing is pirate work. All right, so Kev,
I got plenty of booty.
Take us home this week, son.
Oh, happy Halloween. We didn't dress up today.
Oh, dang. Forgot that.
Maybe next time, or maybe we'll
next
do a
time. Maybe
episode.
we'll do a Christmas one where we dress up as Elf on a Shelf or something like that.
Yeah. We're both middle-aged men trying to look thinner than we are in black. That's what
exactly.
They say swallow your tongue, right?
Exactly. That's me. I've got no shit. Swallow something else.
That won't keep you young. That'll age you.
Take us home. Exactly.
All right. Stay classy, BONESTORM.
Welcome back, Kev.